Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. All right, Mr. Pack, if you want to call your first witness.
Plaintiff calls Dwayne Bell.
Mr. Bell, if you would step forward, the clerk will swear you in, and because of technology issues, if you can sit in the jury box so you can see the screen, which is behind you. We're doing things a little differently today.
Okay. Any particular seat?
You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Correct.
Have a seat.
Mr. Bell, thank you very much for being here this morning. I know you had to come here from North Scottsdale, so appreciate your time. Can you please state your name for the record?
Dwayne Maurice Bell.
And what is your occupation?
Small business owner, gym owner, trainer.
I see you're actually wearing a shirt today that says Pound Boxing Club. Is that the name of your business?
Yes.
And exactly what is Pound Boxing Club?
It's a 5,100 square feet boutique fitness boxing gym.
Do you know the defendant in this case, John Grdina?
Yes.
Does he go by Jay Grdina?
Yes.
How do you know Mr. Grdina?
I met Mr. Grdina August 18th, 2020 through a friend of a friend.
Did you say August 18th, 2020?
2000, sorry.
Okay, so you've known him for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Have you ever lived in his guest home?
Yes.
And is that the home at 10015 East Adele in Scottsdale?
Correct.
How long did you live in that home?
Roughly, I would say maybe October, November 2018 till April 21.
Okay, so let me have you direct your attention to that television screen up there, and I'm going to put up on the screen for you what we've marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 1. Now, I'll tell you, this is a declaration that Mr. Grdina submitted to the court under penalty of perjury. If we can scroll down just a little bit so we can see the date and Mr. Grdina's signature on there. So this is dated April 28th of 2021, and that is Mr. Grdina's signature. I'm going to stop for a minute so that the commissioner can get that in her notebook.
Thank you. All right, I have it. Thanks.
Okay. So I want to direct your attention now to paragraph 4. Can we make this a little bit larger?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the second sentence of paragraph 4 says, I never encountered a process server at my home on or around October 22nd, 2020. Then it goes on to state, I also never found the complaint summons or any other legal documents related to this case at my home. I am married with 3 children and do not have a roommate. So the process server's description of encountering an, quote, African-American, close quote, quote, roommate, close quote, at my family home is bizarre and implausible. Is there anything in that statement that you would find to be false or misleading at all?
The last part of the last sentence.
And what part of the last sentence do you believe would be false or misleading?
So the process server description of encountering an African-American roommate at my family home is bizarre and implausible. I wouldn't say it's implausible or bizarre. I probably encountered more than one process server at some point, either leaving the residence or coming to the residence between those 2 years I was there.
So this says that the process server claimed to have encountered somebody on October 2nd, 2020. Were you living in Mr. Grdina's guest home on October 22nd of 2020?
Yeah.
And I know this is going to sound like a weird question because obviously we're all here in the courtroom and can see you and can tell what you look like. But if this were ever to go up on appeal, the court would only be looking at a transcript and wouldn't be able to see who you are. With that in mind, are you an African-American man?
Yes, I am, and I identify as black, so yeah.
And the process server in his affidavit also mentioned that the African-American gentleman he encountered drove a Cadillac. Do you have a Cadillac?
Yes, I drive a black 2007 Cadillac STS.
Is that the car that you were driving on October 22nd of 2020?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Objection, Your Honor, and move to strike this. I don't see the relevance of any of this to the alter ego motions we're here to discuss today.
All right, Mr. Pack, what is the relevance?
This all goes to Mr. Grdina's credibility. The entire testimony, or the entire case that the defendants have, is going to be built on Mr. Grdina and his testimony. His credibility is unquestionably an issue in this case. And if he has lied in court documents that he has submitted under oath to this court, it is not much of a stretch to think that his testimony in connection with this alter ego hearing may also be false. And I don't see how this could, frankly, not be an issue here.
Okay. To the extent this is being admitted to going to credibility, I'm allowing it. I mean, obviously, the Court of Appeals has already ruled with regard to the service issue, so we're not here dealing with that. But it does have relevance with regard to Mr. Grdina's credibility.
Thank you. I'm going to take down Exhibit 1 and show you Exhibit 2. This is another declaration that Mr. Grdina signed under oath. And let's scroll down to the bottom so we can see the date and the signature on that. So that's dated June 7th, 2021. And I'm going to draw your attention now to paragraph 3. It states that I understand that plaintiff has submitted a declaration of a process server who claims to have attempted service at my house in this case, and that the process server claims he encountered my African-American roommate who lives in a sizable guest house on the property. And then it goes on to say that the guest house on the property is just a 2-car garage, a large office, storage, and an exercise room. It is not used as a residence. Do you see anything false or misleading in that statement that the guest house was not used as a residence?
That statement, exactly.
I'm sorry, that statement
It's not used as a residence. I mean, I lived there for 2 years.
Okay, thank you. Your Honor, I move to admit Exhibits 1 and 2.
Any objection?
Yes, Your Honor, in relevance.
Okay. And
I would also object, Your Honor, that Mr. Bell was only disclosed just in name only. There was never any anticipated testimony listed as to what he was expected to testify about today. So this is a complete surprise to me.
Mr. Pack?
We were never asked to disclose the substance of the party's testimony. The court said submit a list of witnesses and exhibits. We did that.
That is true. I didn't require disclosure, like a disclosure statement.
Understood, Your Honor. That was anticipated with the understanding that this was regarding alter ego motion for Mix One LLC, The Pound, Lucid, and Diamond Technologies.
Well, I understand, but in regard to a lot of the testimony is going to be coming from Mr. Grdina. This goes to his credibility. I mean, I'll give it the weight that I believe it deserves. But I think that, these are court documents that Mr. Grdina did sign. And
Understood.
as we've heard from Mr. Bell today, it appears that they are, not true. But nevertheless, it's not me. The Court of Appeals didn't believe Mr. Grdina's story. I think they called his version of events implausible, and I think they used the word ludicrous. So, to be honest, this is not a surprise to me. So I'm going to admit Exhibits 1 and 2. I will give it the weight I think it is due with regard to credibility.
Thank you. Mr. Bell, I'm going to shift gears for a moment and talk about a business called The Pound LLC.
Okay.
Now, obviously, you've already talked about your business, which is Pound Boxing Club. You're wearing the Pound Boxing Club shirt. But are you familiar with a business called the Pound LLC?
Yes, very.
And how are you familiar with that business?
That was the LLC company that was operating the gym.
Were
before
you
I took over.
Were you ever a member of the Pound LLC?
I am not a signer on the Pound LLC or the bank account for the Pound LLC.
Okay. The term member has a pretty specific legal meaning, and
I'm not
there's a.
aligned or partnered anyway on that LLC.
Were you ever an employee of the Pound LLC?
Yes.
And exactly what were your responsibilities?
Management, marketing, training, teaching classes.
Okay. So you said management. Can you explain what you mean by that? What is it that you manage?
Day-to-day operations, opening, closing the gym, cleaning the gym, setting up marketing accounts, marketing for the gym, paying some of the bills, processing payroll.
Do you know what type of business expenses the Pound had?
Yeah.
So, for example, if I were to show you a bank account statement
Okay.
that has a list of charges, would you be able to identify whether those charges pertain to a legitimate business expense of the Pound LLC?
Yeah.
Are you aware of whether the Pound LLC obtained a PPP loan or a payroll protection program loan from the Small Business Administration?
It did.
And how did you become aware of that?
After taking over the gym myself, I was seeking financial aid. I had raised money through private investors, and a couple of my investors had informed me that I should look into a PPP loan or an SBA loan. I was told, unfortunately, that I would not qualify
Objection,
because
you say.
my company was started before the
Objection.
pandemic.
Well,
I did find.
Well, hold on, Mr. Bell.
Yeah.
You can testify as to what you know, not what others have told you.
Okay. Well, getting to that point, in doing my research, I did come across information on the SBA website and also through old emails that I had received from Cross River Bank stating that the Pound Gym had received a $63,000.
Objection, hearsay containing the emails.
The email is from the bank that funded the loan for $63,750.
This is an email you read.
This is an email that was directed to me.
Okay, all right.
It was my email.
The objection's overruled.
I can produce copies if you like.
Okay.
The email was directed to me stating that we had received the loan for $63,750, funded on June 29th of 2020 into the Pound LLC bank account. I do have the loan paperwork that was electronically filled out, and the loan, all the loan associated loan paperwork from Cross River Bank.
And you said you have the loan paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Was that paperwork signed by Mr. Grdina?
No, the paperwork is done electronically, and it was signed by me.
Well, when you say it was signed by you, did you cause your electronic signature to be attached to that?
No, I never filled out any PPP paperwork.
So if you didn't complete that loan application electronically, but it has your name on it, would that mean that somebody else had electronically completed that loan application and just used your name to complete it?
It's my belief that Jay had filled out the PPP paperwork because we'd had discussions about it, and informed me that we had been denied several times for the PPP loan. I was never informed that we actually were approved for it. I didn't actually find it out until approximately September of 2021 that we were actually approved for a PPP loan, and he was funded for a PPP loan. And at that time, looking back through the documentation that the emails were sent directly to me, he listed my name as the only equity ownership in the business. He listed his EIN for the Pound Gym LLC and his bank account for the Pound Gym LLC for the funds to be funded. I am not a signer on the bank account, and I am not a member of the Pound LLC. His name appears nowhere on the paperwork for the loan.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's marked and already been admitted as Exhibit 17. These are copies of the Pound Gym's Wells Fargo bank account statements. This goes for the period from January 31st, 2020 until, I believe, the end of February 2021. But let's skip forward just a little bit and we'll go to page 28. And I'm going to slow down for a second while that Commissioner gets there.
Thanks, sorry. All right, I'm there.
Okay. Let's go down to the entry on June 29th.
Sorry, Brett, can you give the page again?
This is page 28. It's PDF page 28 of Exhibit 17.
Thank you.
So we can see on June 29th, there is an entry for Cross River Bank SBA loan pound in the amount of $63,750. Is that consistent with your testimony that the SBA had funded a loan to the Pound LLC for $63,750 on June 29th of 2020?
Yes.
And then immediately below that entry, we see an online transfer to Lucid Technologies LLC, also on June 29th, in the amount of $22,500. So let me ask you first of all, are you familiar with a company called Lucid Technologies LLC?
It's probably one of Jay's companies. Yeah, I've heard of it, but don't know what they do.
To your knowledge, did the Pound LLC have any type of business relationship with Lucid Technologies?
No.
Objection, speculation. He just stated that he doesn't know.
He said to his knowledge. The question was to his knowledge.
Okay.
So the objection's overruled.
In my 2 years of running the gym and paying the bills, I never had physical access to the Wells Fargo, but I never wrote any checks to Lucid. I never paid anything from Lucid. I don't have any, Lucid had nothing to do with our business. They weren't one of our vendors. They weren't someone that we paid for repayment of rent. Our rent was paid to Northside LLC. So no, I don't know what that is.
Okay, and given the fact that you were essentially managing the Pound LLC and that you were in charge of its day-to-day operations, if there was some type of business relationship with Lucid Technologies LLC, is that the type of thing that ordinarily you would know?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, let's continue on. I want to ask you about some other transfers. Well, first of all, let me just finish up on this. Are you aware of any legitimate business justification for this transfer of $22,500 from the Pound LLC to Lucid Technologies?
No.
All right. Let's go to July 14th. So that's right. So for the record, this is going to be page 33 of Exhibit 17. We see the very last entry on July 14th is an online transfer to Dulce B Investment Business Checking in the amount of $3,500. Are you familiar with a company called Dulce B Investments?
I am familiar with it.
Do you know that to be a company for which Mr. Grdina is a principal?
Yes.
Are you aware of any business relationship between the Pound LLC and Dulce B Investments?
No.
Can you think of any legitimate business reason for the Pound to be transferring $3,500 to Dulce B Investments?
No.
All right, let's keep going. Let's go to July. Keep going down to the next page, please. All right, let's stop right there. At the very top, again on July 14th, we see a transfer of $1,500 to Diamond Technologies, LLC. Are you aware of any business relationship between the Pound LLC and Diamond Technologies, LLC?
No.
Can you think of any legitimate business justification for that transfer of money?
No.
Let's go down to July 20th. I'm sorry, July 27th. Let's stop right there. The second entry on July 27th, it says purchase authorized on July 21, NordicTrack.com, and then it lists a website in the amount of $3,465.29. Did the gym have any Nordic Trek machines?
No, that was the Nordic Track that he bought for his home gym, which is in the guest house attached to the residence that I lived in.
Can you think of any legitimate business justification for the pound to be buying a Nordic Trek machine that would go into the guest house that you were living in?
No.
Let's also look on July 28th. There's another transfer to Dulce B Investments in the amount of $2,000. Are you aware of any legitimate business justification for that transfer?
No.
Let's take a look on October 2nd. Let's stop right there. Well, first of all, the first entry on October 2nd is for Prime Video. It's a small amount, but there's also another one below that for $9.71. Are you aware of any reason for the pound to be buying things from Prime Video?
No.
The next entry on October 2nd is a transfer to GenLife LLC in the amount of $2,500. Are you familiar with GenLife LLC?
Yeah, that was his PPE mask thing.
Okay. Are you aware of any business reason for the Pound LLC to be transferring $2,500 to GenLife?
No.
Well, you work in a gym at the time of COVID.
We didn't sell masks.
Did the gym hand out masks to its customers?
No, we didn't.
There is a transfer, let's go on 1026. We see, again, on 1026, there's a $1,000 transfer to Dulce B, another $600 transfer to GenLife. Are you aware of any business justification for those transfers?
No.
Let's take a look at November 2nd. So we see on November 2nd, there's quite a few charges. There's charges to Amazon, there's charges to Inside Out, Prime Video. There is a looks like a business-to-business bank card transfer. Are you aware of any business reason for any of those charges?
No.
All right, let's go to 11.4. All right, on 11.4, we also see a transfer of $1,400 to GenLife LLC. Can you think of any business reason for that transfer?
No.
Let's go to 11.9. We see on 11.9 there's a transfer of $1,900. I can't read it. That's either 18 or 19.
It's 19.
So $1,900 to Dulce B Investments. Any business reason for that transfer?
No.
Okay. Let's go to November 30th. Go up a little bit, please. Okay, so on November 30th, it's the second to last entry. There's a transfer of $2,400 to GenLife. Are you aware of any business reason for that transfer?
Definitely not.
And we also see on November 30th, there's a transfer in, so money being transferred from Lucid Technologies to GenLife LLC. Are you aware of any reason why GenLife would be paying money to the Pound LLC?
No, because all financial responsibility by Jay Grdina had ended the Pound LLC effectively October 1st, but he didn't actually transfer the financial deposits until November 7th or 8th.
Okay, so let's break that down a little bit. Did Mr. Grdina sell the Pound to you or to some entity that you're affiliated with?
No, he did not.
Did the business, when did the Pound LLC stop operating to your knowledge?
The Pound LLC officially stopped operating the gym on September 25th. I believe it was a Saturday. The gym was locked or repossessed by the owners, by the landlord.
So the Pound was renting the gym from a landlord,
Correct.
or is that at least leasing the space
Leasing
from
the
a
space.
landlord? And do you know why the landlord locked the Pound LLC out of the premises?
Yes.
Why is that?
Mr. Grdina had run up about $111,000 in unpaid rent over the course of however many years the gym had been in business.
Judgment
He had-
Foundation.
He had agreed to pay three
Well, wait a
Why-
second, you gotta let the judge,
Okay.
the
Yes.
commissioner rule on that.
Why don't you lay some foundation for his knowledge of this?
All right. Mr. Bell, are you familiar at all with the relationship between the Pound LLC and its landlord?
Very.
How are you familiar with that?
I received the default notices from the landlord for the unpaid rent. I was the one who secured rent and the repayment to reopen the gym on October 1st when I took over the gym after it had been locked out.
Did you have any conversations with Mr. Grdina about the payment of the rent?
Several.
Did you have any conversations about the landlord concerning the payment of rent?
Several.
Based on your communications and your knowledge, are you aware of whether the Pound LLC was delinquent in its rent to the landlord?
The Pound LLC was delinquent in its rent before I arrived in June of 2018 and further proceeded to be delinquent during the duration of the Pound LLC's ownership of the gym.
So at that time that the Pound was locked out in September of 2020, do you know how far delinquent it was in the rent?
I can produce you the default notices, but I think the last default notice stated it was north of $100,000.
Thank you. The last question I have for you, or last set of questions rather, concerns something that happened just before the commissioner came on the bench. Did you get a phone call while you were sitting here in this courtroom?
I did.
And was Mr. Grdina the one who was calling you?
He was.
And I will say that I was present there. Did you put Mr. Grdina on speakerphone?
I did.
And did you hear him say, you're going to be a witness today?
Correct.
And then did you hear me tell him that I couldn't be a party to any conversation where his lawyer wasn't also present?
Correct.
At that point, did he ask you to go out and talk to him somewhere that I wasn't there?
Yes.
And what did Mr. Grdina say to you during that phone call?
He reiterated, clarifying that I was going to be testifying today and asked me what I was going to be testifying about.
And what did you tell him?
I said it's something about the process server, some documentation that you stated that you hadn't seen a process server.
Okay. Is that when the call ended?
Basically, yeah.
Okay. I have no further questions.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Hassey.
Just a few, Your Honor. Good morning or early afternoon, Mr. Bell. How are you today?
I've been better.
You said you were a manager of the Pound when it was owned by the Pound LLC, correct?
Correct.
Were you the only manager?
Yes.
Was Mr. Grdina a manager?
No.
Are you aware of any other individuals who were managers?
There was one individual, her name was Erica, but she was let go shortly after I got there.
What was Erica's last name?
Don't remember.
And when was she let go, roughly?
October, November of 2018.
Do you know how long Erica had been there previously?
I really don't.
And you said she was a manager.
That was her title. I don't think she actually did anything.
Okay. What were your job responsibilities as manager?
How much time do you have? I opened the gym, I closed the gym, I taught upwards of 15 to 20 classes per week plus personal training. I helped clean the gym, I did the marketing for the gym.
Were
I
there
set up
other-
events for the gym.
Were there other persons who taught classes at the gym?
There were a couple.
What were their names?
Joel Harris, Creighton something, Rick Rufus.
Did you work at the gym 7 days a week? Or how many days a week 7 days a week you were at the gym?
362 days a year, basically.
Did you receive salary from the Pound LLC?
Sporadically, yes.
So if there were checks made payable to Dwayne Bell, that was as compensation for your work as manager?
I think it was compensation for my time without having too much expenditure on the gym.
But it was time spent serving as manager of the gym, correct?
It was a Partial compensation, yes.
Were you compensated in other ways?
I was led to believe that I would be an equity stakeholder in the gym if the gym became profitable.
Okay. You stated earlier you weren't on the Pound LLC's bank records, correct?
No, I'm not.
So, and Mr. Pack asked you a few questions about a few transfers related to Dolce B or other entities, correct?
Correct.
Do you have any idea whether those entities ever loaned money to the Pound LLC?
I'm not aware. I'm aware that on several occasions I did drop off rent checks, one or two from Mix One LLC, but everything else came from the Pound.
So you stated that there was issues with profitability for the gym, correct?
Correct.
And is it possible that those rent checks were from those entities to cover the Pound LLC in the gym while it was unprofitable?
I guess you could assume that.
Okay. You stated Rick Rufus was a teacher of classes, correct?
Yeah.
What classes did he teach?
For a limited time before I arrived, he taught a noon class, I believe.
Sorry, what was it?
A noon class, a class at noon, 12 noon.
Okay, and what was the substance of the class? Was it boxing? Was it
Kickboxing.
Kickboxing? Thank you. And so if Rick Rufus received checks from the Pound LLC, is it fair to say that those would have been paid as salary or as compensation for his teaching?
Rick received checks from Pound LLC for teaching. He also received checks for small amounts of loans that he would ask Jay for. He also received some checks for doing some cleaning. So his checks weren't primarily or all salary. They were based on how many classes he taught within a 2-week period. They were based on how much he cleaned the gym, or if he needed a $250 or $500 loan from Jay.
And cleaning the gym is a normal business expense of the gym, correct?
When you pay a cleaning company, yes, it is.
Like, I guess when you pay anybody, correct? As long as the gym gets cleaned.
It's debatable.
Okay. You said Joel Harris was also a teacher, correct?
Correct.
And so to the extent he received checks from the Pound, it would be as compensation for his teaching.
Correct.
To the extent Erica ever received checks, it would presumably be for compensation for her serving as manager of the gym.
You could say that.
Do you know a Creighton Austin?
Creighton Austin?
Creighton Austin?
Yes, I do.
And he was one of the other teachers you had mentioned?
Yes, he was a trainer at the gym.
You don't know how Jay's salary or compensation or anything from the Pound LLC, it's a poorly phrased question, so let me restart. Thank you. You don't know how Jay was compensated or paid by the Pound LLC, do you?
If I'm being honest, I don't believe there was any money to be paid to Jay at any point in time before 2021.
When did you first start working at the gym?
2018.
And so you don't know whether he received, how long did the Pound LLC own the gym?
I believe they started the gym in 2017 or late 2016. I don't know. But my statement is based on income and expenses. And at the time when I arrived to the gym in 2018, the gym was making about $6,500 a month, and at that time the rent was $9,100. So it's hard to see that Jay could also take any payment if his rent was more than the gym was actually paying him for the month.
Who was the landlord for the property?
Northside LLC, AZ Partners.
And so rent would have been paid to Northside AZ?
When it was paid, but it was often not paid.
But if there was a check that was payable to Northside, it was for the rent of the business?
Correct.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Any regret?
Yes. Mr. Bell, Mr. Hoxie asked you some questions about payments that you had received as compensation for your services. at the time the Pound stopped operating in September of 2020, were you owed any money for the services you had provided to the Pound?
Yes.
And about how much would you say that is?
Would you like a specific breakdown?
Well, just give me the best best detail that you can.
Based on the amount of classes I taught, manager salary, not taking out the $3,000 salary that I was receiving, which I didn't often take, I believe the total owed to me as of now is $526,490, roughly around there.
Okay, well, that actually sounds fairly precise. But let me ask another question. What records, well, strike that. Did the Pound LLC issue W-2s
No.
to you?
No.
Do you know if the Pound issued W-2s to any of its employees?
No.
Are you aware of any type of bookkeeping records that the Pound maintained other than the bank account statements that we saw and whatever records were kept in the checkbook?
No.
So the Pound received its SBA loan, its PPP loan, in June of 2020. Are you familiar with the purposes of the PPP loan program?
I'm familiar with the
Your Honor,
purposes.
objection, I believe this would be outside the scope of redirect.
Overrule.
Go ahead.
I'm very familiar with the purposes of the PPP.
Are you aware that the primary purpose of that is to ensure that the employees of a business can continue to get paid during the COVID pandemic?
Correct.
So just to be clear, after the Pound LLC received the $63,750 PPP loan, how much of those proceeds do you think were used to pay the money that the Pound LLC owed you for your services?
0.
Nothing further.
All right. All right. Is there anything else at this time?
No, Your Honor, I guess we just have to set the continued hearing date.
Your Honor, first I think we can dismiss the witness,
Yes.
excuse the witness.
Mr. Bell, thank you so much for your time.